Everybody, what's up? Hey, everybody. Eric, Steven, Rosalind, Anthony, Donald, Gayton, Rex, Don, Dan, Mark. What do you like? Don and Dan all together. Mark, Sergio, David, Steve, Wade, Amy, Alan. It's funny how the Amy, Alan, the names kind of jump together. Don, Dan. Welcome, everybody. Robert, Andreas, Cliff, Darren. Good to see you, Darren. How's the weather up there? And Ryan, Robert, Diane, Mark, Valerie, Ted. Glad to see everybody. I just it live streaming is so much different than putting out a video and just watching the comments roll in, because like there's a live interaction thing going on here, and I really like that aspect of the live stream. A lot of people have told me that doing live streaming doesn't work, but I keep proving them wrong that it does work. So I'm excited. King, I don't recognize your name, but welcome to the stream. And if you're brand new here, you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button down over here in the corner, and you can be a chatter while I am live and say, hey, good morning, chat with us. And welcome, everybody. A little wet. No complaints. It's probably beautiful up there. I mean, probably is. Just a whole different world up there, that part of the country. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome. Had to teach youngins about Celine Dion. It reminds me of the like South Park. I don't know if it's season 1. They were pretty obsessed with Celine Dion. Like, really like your story, especially the part about Celine Dion. And anyway, you may or may not. Anybody that's watched South Park may or may not remember that. That was back when I was I guess a teenager, probably the 90s. I guess Rongemer was probably like in elementary school or something, or not born. I don't know. Joking with you, man. Just joking with you. Anyway, welcome everybody. And FOMC minutes coming out at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. So jump over here. Looking at it, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. None at all. All right. So that's no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, stuff from gurus. Don't buy stuff from me if you don't trust me. And that's cool. Got apparently not muted. Hold on. There we go. Reset my headphones, and hopefully the phone doesn't make any more noises. So if you desire personal financial advice, you got to hire a consultant financial advisor, which is not what I do. I'm not trying to advise you on any trade. And I've had a couple of people get frustrated at me lately. All right. A new trader just needs to be told what to do. A new trader should be trading in paper until they understand what to do. Should not be told what to do with their money. Nobody watches out for your money better than you. All right. Nobody knows your risk tolerance and your comfortability in a trade besides you. So I kind of taken great offense to this kind of thought process that you should just tell me what to do. You should be giving me every exit alert and all that. Like, you should never get in a trade at all, ever. Unless you have a plan for why you're getting in, when you're getting in, the conditions you're going to exit, both good and bad. Like, when do I call it quits? And if you don't understand this, like the people that say, you should play while you learn, earn while you learn, or whatever, like that's the most dangerous thing in the world. Most dangerous thing in the world. Believe me, I've tried it. I've listened to those gurus. I've tried that. It's freaking dangerous to your account. You're going to do something you don't understand. If you mess up, you don't know you messed up. Like you need to operate in paper until you get the concept down. And if you don't even understand, like, well, my platform doesn't have paper. That's okay. You can open another account and another broker, do the paper thing and understand how the contracts work. Like, it's all the same across brokers. Like, the buttons are in different places. They're different colors. They're different shapes. They say maybe a different word. They're all the same buttons. All right. They do all the same things. Trading works. Trust me, I've got like 15 different brokers. All right. They all do the same stuff. An order to the market is an order to the market. A good till canceled Limit order is a good till cancel limit order. And if you don't understand bids and asks and fills and what can go wrong, you need to operate in paper. All right. It is a tough business. I mean, I've pulled this up before. I'm going to pull it up. I didn't even plan to pull this up. Let me pull this up right here. Funny enough, I just clicked on it and it was already up. It's like fate right here. It's welcome to the hardest game in the world right here. Unfortunately, you're playing with some of the sharpest, fastest, most intelligent, well-informed, stubbornly irrational, and in many cases, unethical minds in the world. You're up against the computer that can go faster than you. That's the algos right there. The trader that has more experience than you. That's the people that do this all day, every day for a living. The fund that has more money than you. That's those hedge funds we compete with every day. The insider that has more information than you. That's the people that work at the companies that are public that make the trades that, we don't even understand. Others that'll misinform you. That's everybody. That's everybody. Believe the news. Don't believe the news. Jim Cramer. You name it. I mean, the inner voice that's going to do its best to undo you. That's your personal self-doubt right there. All right. If you don't believe that you're going to make a good trade, you're not going to make a good trade. You've got to believe in what you're doing. You got to have confidence. And nobody watches out for your money more than you. So leave all your dreams of quick money, easy money behind you. The first aim is survival. Your absolute first goal is to learn how to stay in this game. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you got to learn to paper trade. You got to learn how to operate the platform. You got to learn how to use the tools. If you don't understand it, I understand. We're all like, oh man, I spent money on a program from a guru. I've got to get that money back. Like, stop. You're going to lose money if your back's against the wall and you feel like you got to get the money back. All right? You need to stop. You need to educate yourself with paper trading and understand fully the trade. Make sure that you can consistently make money in paper. Otherwise, you'll never make money. You'll never make money in a real money account. All right? You can only stay in this game by mapping the territory, understanding the enemy, how it thinks, acts, reacts, having a solid game plan. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been harping on right here. A solid game plan by picking your battles very, very carefully. I talk about a lot of charts. I get in very few trades compared to how many charts I talk about. I talk about, hey, I think I want to get into that. Like, I'd say 90% of the time, I never do. I pick my battles very, very carefully. And even the ones I pick, a bunch of them go wrong. Small risk, large reward. I like to do those kind of plays. Are you ready to play? Be careful. This is the hardest game in the world right here. You got to have accountability for your actions. That's 100% there, Sledge. 100%. 100%. If you're not accountable for what you're doing, guess what? Destined to lose. So this is a volatility event coming up at 2 p.m. right here. Right here. Wednesday. Golly, it's the 21st of August already. 3 weeks gone. One more to go. Man, we're gonna be in like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas before you know it. I tell you, we put the wraps on 2024. Anyway, here we go. There we go. And welcome everybody. Emotional trading does get everybody. Let's face it. When money's involved, we worked hard for that money, right? We worked hard for it. You put it on the line, it pulls out emotions. Like you get angry when you're down, you lash out, you blame other people, right? The most liberating thing for trading, hopefully I speak to a lot more than I think, but when you can put risk on a trade and not really like that. A guru told me this a long time ago. I didn't understand it till more recently when I really became a guru. It was kind of the time period right before I became a guru that really sunk in. When you can put risk on a trade, you put your money at risk, whatever it is, and then sleep at night knowing win or loss, everything's okay. You're going to be ahead on the long scale. On the long time frame. Like, look, this is not, and you hear people say this is not a race, it's like a marathon. It's not even a marathon because that's still a race. Like, this is a way of the future. Like, this is the way you're going to do this in the future. Like, you're going to always do this. So if you can consistently make some money on the long time scale, yeah, you may take some cycles of losses, but the cycles of wins are going to outpace those cycles of losses if you're actually good at this. So you gotta get yourself in the right mindset here, that you can do this. You are good at this. You're going to make it work. You're going to make it work. You've got to have the right mindset. If you don't, you're in the wrong game. Period. You know, Don, I understand, but if you don't take responsibility for your own actions, you're in the wrong game. You're going to lose your money. Hate to break it to you. All right. Anyway, moving on. End of my rant this morning, I guess. JT rants are a special kind of rant, I guess. And, you know, some people don't take accountability. They'll never take accountability, but they're destined to not get ahead in life also. You've got to be a person that expects greatness and goes after it every single day. Tomorrow is going to be better than today. Today's better than yesterday. Some of us get trapped in that mindset where it's not. It's tough. It's tough. Like, this game is tough. Like, you got to be tough as nails. I take it very personal when people can, you know, I take it very personal when people are critical. And, you know, this is still stemming from the couple people blowing up at me in Discord. I understand. Like, this was tough. This was tough right there. I tend to be a permanent contrarian because, well, when the market's ripping, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen right now? That. Right? That's the thing we got to watch out for. That's the thing you got to be prepared for. If that starts happening, what do? Where's your exit plan? What are the signs that we know that's happening? Right? If I don't make you aware, you don't know. You know, I assume that you don't actually know how to tell when things are about to go against you. So that's why I go through them every day. It's not that that's my primary expectation. That's the know when you're wrong, right? It's not staying wrong that loses you money. Well, it is. It is staying wrong, right? It's being wrong doesn't cost you much money, but staying wrong does. Like, if you stay wrong, like, how far down can we go? How far down can we go? We could go down here. Are you going to stay wrong till we get down there? Are you going to stay wrong till we get down here? Those are possible levels that we could go visit. All right? I know some people don't know what the buttons to push. You got to spend the time and educate yourself. All right? If you're like, I don't care. I don't want to learn it. I just want somebody to tell me what to do. You're destined to never be good at this. All right. You just joined if you're a member at all, market roadmap line down underneath, $5. If you're a member, you've bought anything from me at all, the instructions to get in Discord are at the members area, members.prosperitypub.com. I can type it in the chat here. Members.prosperitypub.com. If you go to the members area, right there, there are instructions for getting in Discord. Once you get in there, talking to me is easy. You just click my name and talk to me. You can @ me. I don't talk private conversations. So if you ask me anything about trading in private conversation, we're not talking. So there you go. I run the public server. You know, it's somewhat private. It's the private community, but it is a public group of people. And we have conversations in there all the time about trading. So I'm not going to give you advice. If you're like, I'm jammed up on XYZ, we can talk about it, and different people, give you ideas on things you can do. But, it's the whole goal is to not get in the jam to begin with, right? You have your exit plan before you get into the trade. Both good and bad. If you don't understand the trade, you don't understand what the exit criteria is, ask questions until you do. All right, I have master classes for almost all the systems I do. And if you don't understand them, ask more questions. There's tons of people in there. There's great traders. There's Sledge. There's Goose. There's Nikki. There's Laura. There's Brian. There's Ed. Gayton. There's tons of really good traders. Sergio. Svinborn. Lots of great traders in there that do pretty good. Darren's in there. All these people will help other traders. Right? If you're new, ask the questions. Don't sit there and play the blame game. Well, you didn't tell me what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You got to have the exit plan when you get in. Remember, if you desire personal financial advice, which includes when to push the buttons, you got to hire and consult somebody that does that. That's not what I do. Not what I do. All right. S&P, we're still on the path. Still expecting 77%. Probably going to go up here. 77%. 70% likely we go hit this. And about 30% likely we rock and roll it up to 6,000 without some sort of major pullback. Sounds pretty good to me. Pretty good to me. Where's that stat come from? Down here. Down here. Got a handy dandy tool. Gives me the statistics on these patterns. This is a market roadmap bounce pattern off a daily chart. Right up there is the target. Hey, there's Finborn. Good to see you, my man. Missed the whole big rant. So yesterday, popped up and rejected a little on the stocks above the 20-day. I saw some Chicken Little skies falling news from several sources, mainstream media type. What the heck? Yesterday was just a little red doji. Why was that a freak out for some people? Yesterday, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We do have that FOMC meeting coming up at 2 p.m. If we rally up to all-time highs before then, we may see the pullback. My kind of expectation from here, this is, I've not minced words about this. I kind of expect this. I expect us to find a little resistance at that prior high. Maybe retrace to here, where we found these two highs right there. And then maybe come up here. Now, there exists the possibility we just go here. And then here. And this, we could pull back and come up here. And these get less and less likely that we're just going to cruise on higher. And the next level up there at 6,000. All right. Watch for the target. S5FI hanging in here. Now we may see this. We could get another dip thing right here. Probably going to come back down over here. Maybe into September. That's just, the market can climb higher while this drifts down. This is just a participation rate, right? How many stocks are above their 50-day? Drop it back down. We can keep filling this thing out. And it can fill out all the way to the election. Just keep on keeping on. Down here, up here, down here. We just keep doing this right up to the election. And then, do we pop? Well, there's not much room to pop. Or do we drop? Yikes. Looking like we might drop. S5TH. Stocks above their 200-day moving average. Hanging right in the same vicinity we've been in all year long. Tried to break down. Popped right back up. Probably go visit the top again. Don't have to. We didn't over here. We went for down. But this has been pretty good support. Look. Low. Look how many lows we've got right on this, in this vicinity. One right there. 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 Little guy right there. Double touch. That's a pretty solid support for stocks above their 200-day. About 64% of S&P 500 stocks. And we keep dipping down, and then we get a rally. Dip down, get a rally. Dip down, get a rally. When this breaks, we're going to the bottom. We're at 20% or less. We'll probably dip out the bottom like we did over here. When this finally breaks, we're going to get a bigger correction. This wasn't it. This was just a market fleecing, a little bit of a market rout, as they call it. We're going to get the bigger correction. It's going to come. We're going to get a downtrend. It's going to last several months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 10 years. We don't know until it starts actually happening. So ES, jump it down, 15-minute, holding the roadmap line. So far, yesterday I expected it to test. Kind of talked about that. And then we tested again right there this morning. Hanging. We want to see this breakout. Go cruising on up. Get those highs. Get that target on the upside. NQ, same situation, same story, same almost exact. Holding. Want to see this break on out. Get on up to new highs. Russell, a little bit more mucky. We've been below the roadmap line. We've been above the roadmap line. We hit the 30-minute and that consolidation. So this is looking a little more sketchy, and we're still below the danger zone on Russell. You may be new here, not understand the danger zone. It's a pullback level. Right? This sets up a measured bounce to the downside for Russell. Right here. What is measured bounce? It's where we go on a move, we retrace, hold a 618, which is 61.8% retrace, and then we get continuation. If we got just one continuation, like that continuation can keep continuing too. So if we come up here to this 618 level, we got close the other day, rejected pretty hard. At the minimum, an echo of this move right here would take us down to 1800 on the Russell. I'm very close to buying some more puts again. Out through the election, maybe into early next year, maybe mid next year. I don't know. That can lead to extensions down to 1600. So downside caution on Russell. We're still set up for potential continuation lower, and that can kick off an even bigger move down, possibly down to 15 or even 1300 on Russell. Oil, boy, I tell you what, this has just been wild right here. Wild ride. I think this is my primary at this point. We're just going to hang in this. I was talking about last night how if we do this, the incumbent probably doesn't get reelected. If we do this, the incumbent probably gets reelected. We'll see which one we do. See which one we do. Can oil break out or break down, or do we stay in the middle where it's a coin flip? I don't have a bias right now with this, the way this is shaped up. Don't really have an expectation. If we start breaking down, it may be a fake out and we go ripping higher. If we break out, it may be a fake out and we break down. So, yeah, it's kind of wild, isn't it, Laura? This may be the chart that determines the election. That may be like, it may be as simple as that right there. Maybe as simple as that. If this breaks out higher, inflation's going to rock. Anyway, maybe as simple as that. Gold hitting the target, right in the target zone yesterday. What do I expect now? Caution. We could blow right through it, but we may get a pullback. Like, pullback would be my primary expectation, but we might, the lower probabilities, we just keep rocking and rolling higher, get on up to extensions. Now, silver is lagging way behind. If gold gets the pullback, it's doubtful that this rallies while gold pulls back. We could reject off this area and go lower. We could break out and go higher. 35 is still my upside expectation. And with this move we've done so far, I do expect a little... Here's what I actually expect to happen in the next little bit here on silver. I expect us to do a little correction, a little pop, maybe up into this zone right here, then a bigger correction, and then a bigger pop like this. That's what I expect on silver. Right there. So just formalizing what I expect, kind of maybe a few day correction, maybe a final move up. Then we get the low, the potential high. I'm just E-wagon, educated wild guessing right there. Then we get the pullback, same vicinity kind of. Don't want to overlap the top of that first move up right there. Want to hold above that. Then we get continuation right up there. Now, I'm not predicting time. I'm just kind of predicting where we're possibly heading. That could take us October, November, right there. That's why I bought the positions out to November. And this pullback, these pullbacks may be shallow. They may be really shallow, like this. So be careful on silver. Gold can be more wild because it hit those extension targets. It's got a date with the roadmap line, one day or another, and maybe a while. We can rock and roll and stay away from it for a long time. You know, here's an example. Look how long this one ran. From back here, March 23, till we got to right here in August 24. Stayed up there a year, almost a year and a half. We eventually are coming back to test support. Keep in mind, like these are all like, how long before we go test support? Bitcoin trying its darndest to try to get up out of here. Consolidating. However many days that is now, 10 days, 12 days, 13 days. We're on the 13th day of consolidation here. Golly. It's like Groundhog Day right there for Bitcoin. Pop up, hit down, pop up, hit down, pop up. One of these days, we're going to break out or break down. At this point, it looks like we're hitting our head on upside resistance, but we did overlap. That's the unfortunate thing we did here. We'll look at this right here. Depending on which move you look at, we did get some overlap on this first move up and this right here. Those overlap muddies it up a little bit. Unless this was potentially complete here, and this was the 2, and this is a new 1, and this is a new 2. But it's really muddy. Like there's no clear. You see how it held the 618.786? So if we break back down below this 58,500 area, not looking so good for immediate bullishness on Bitcoin. May have to get another low. That's the kind of like what I've got my eye on right there on Bitcoin. Ethereum, this is just kind of arced up and went sideways. I mean, it's like it's not doing anything. This may need one more flush right down here, lower low, before we can get done and actually build a rally out of Ethereum right there. Altcoins are going to suffer while these two are just languishing right there. I mean, it's kind of the way it goes. Dollar is probably on a path to go lower. We've got this support right here from that prior swing low. We've got this one over here from this prior swing low. And my expectation from early last year, a year and a half ago, is still that we're going to go down here to the mid-90s sooner or later. All right. Resistance on the upsides right there. Support down here. And we could go all the way back down. I mean, when we look at the long-term trend here, dollar hangs out down around the low 90s. NKD, we've been keeping an eye on this one since the carry trade blew up. Still working on getting above and staying above the roadmap line. Back over here last week, I said we'd probably rally up. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 5 days if you count the first day we got up there. 5 days of consolidation right on the top of the roadmap line. Next resistance right up here. And this may need a retrace. It might come back down and test this area. Might be another freak out. It may even go lower low and hit the actual 618 level. Be careful. All right, we could, everybody, like the news could switch back to the carry trade's blowing up. And as I've talked about, why the FOMC may not ever cut rates. Because they're helping support the carry trade keep going. Because who buys U.S. debt? The biggest buyer. Japan. If they can't borrow money cheaper than buying the U.S. debt, who's going to buy the debt? The number one customer of U.S. debt. Rates stay high in the United States, so the treasuries go for more money than the Japanese yen treasuries go for, so they can buy the debt and keeps this whole house of cards going. They can't cut rates below the Japanese's rate and blow up the trade, because then who's buying the debt? Dun, dun, dun. There you go. When this house of cards unravels, it's going to be epically bad. Upside target 44,000 on NKD. That's Japanese futures. The Nike key. All right, what was popping and dropping here for us today? Man, that one shot up right to the target. On target. Potential for this to get a bigger move up. Potentially up here, 234, possibly 270, possibly, if we're going to go bullish again, 333. Target could change its fortunes. Be a new all-time high. Get up there. This is a potential measured bounce setup. That's why those targets are up there. It held the 50%, retrace, moved up, retraced. That's a measured bounce. Those targets, targets on target. Potentially, I'll just remove the extra lines right there. 234, 273, 333. Minimum target right there. 240 area right there. I'm not always bearish, not always bullish. I am contrarian a lot. Like whatever the consensus is, I tend to be opposite. Keys, golly, that's just chopping. Not really going anywhere for a while. I mean, 4 years of sideways kind of try to break out, try to break down. Nothing. I'm not convinced it's doing anything. ASML. It's got its danger zone right here. 965. If we reject that, we may come down here. If we can break through it, get up through the gap fill. 1168, possibly 1200 on the upside. Arch. Resources. Sideways, choppy, hot mess. I'm starting to see this on a bunch of charts. I saw a bunch of these last night during the request show. When they go sideways for 2, 3, 4 years, there's just not a lot to expect right there. There's plenty of stuff moving. In fact, I have some bonus trades I brought today. Stick around to the end. I got a couple bonus trades. We'll talk about them and the potential trades there. So, Celix, or CX, Console Energy, CEIX, still is just a bunch of sideways. Tried to break higher, couldn't do it. 3 tops and drop, and maybe if we can get above that, we're going to go higher. It's just not a high probability trade with how long it's just gone sideways. Just not high probability. Race, man, going for extensions. Holy guacamole. Wow. Didn't even touch support. There's one that's been rocking and rolling. Last time we were touching it, right back here, September 23. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. That move up, projected off of that low. Oh, no. That low. We may be heading for 525. Right there. That's where race may be going to top out. And then we may get a bigger retrace after that. TJX. Man. Wow. Last time we hit right back there. Watch for this to overextend itself to the upside and get a nice retrace. Climbing the fib ladder. 122, 135, 144. Could possibly go to 190, but if we do that, it's going to be an epic right back down. ADI. No, that not every, in general, your statement may be correct, Don, that people who buy Ferraris don't have daily money problems. But I'll guarantee you there's some people that have a Ferrari that have money problems. In fact, David A. has a funny story about having an exotic car for a short period of time, his life. He was telling it in the in-person event we had in June. So ADI right there, that's if we close today up here, looks like we maybe had an entry back there. Let me turn this on. Did we? Nope, didn't kick it off yet. So today may kick off the entry on this. 251, 258, right up there. ULTA. Resistance. Supports. If we break support, next level down, 280. If we can break resistance, we may go rocking and rolling to new highs. I don't know where that arrow came from. I wasn't trying to draw an arrow. New highs may be up here. 665, 751, 887. Pretty wild. Pretty wild potential ride on Ulta. Let's go with some more realistic ones, though. 620, 668, 818, right there. ROST, Roost, Ross Stores. Just like Ross the Boss. Or is it Ross the Clothing Store? 155, 157, we're already there. That one worked out. That one worked out. Boom. Right there to it. That was on Thursday last week, so the entry was on Friday. A couple days of waiting, and boom, right to the target. Beautiful. Beautiful. And it was this thing was in the trade from back here, so it just hit the target. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it when they work out. DG. Hey, Carlene. Good morning. Good morning. DG still messing around down here under the roadmap line. Golly, let's see. Where is supports? Right in this area. Right here. Watch for a breakdown and push lower. There's resistance on the upside right there. Support down here. DLTR. Yep. That may have been it. We may have front run the support just a little bit. Came up short. Maybe reversing. Watch for break through the roadmap line. We can do that. It's a much bigger potential here. Much bigger than anything I've got drawn. See that right there? This is a wild chart. You ready for this? Look at this potential. That's a triple. Buy a few shares. I might actually take this one. I might buy a few shares just to see what happens. And triple your money right there, potentially. It's going to take a while. Nice long while. Maybe 2027. Would you wait till 2027 to triple your money? Lulu. Me and Lulu don't get along. I don't trade it. There's resistance and supports might be further down. It's been a long move up. Long move up. And this could get one heck of a retrace. That low, this high. Supports on the bigger move. Potentially right down here around 120. If we break and go from where we are, though, there's the potential to get on up in new highs, 700. TXN. These aren't even the bonus trades. These are just normal charts that are moving for the day. Do this every day. TXN. Oh, that's on the path. 215, 219. TEM. Not enough to do anything with. There's none of my stuff activates. Not enough candles. Too new. Now, I warn you, IPOs, if this was an IPO, it doesn't have the dinosaur that usually shows up on IPOs. But IPOs are typically bearish. They will make a low, lower, usually substantially lower than the IPO price. This could be it, but it's unlikely because this is all kind of overlapping. Still corrective price action. We're probably going to go down again for a lower low. Elf Beauty, potential for this one to finally be done with this stupid correction that's been going on since back here in March. Faked out a breakout here. Double top, move down, lower low. If this flushes on down, we could get a 618 retrace back down at 97. If it can break above this, we could see a move on up here in the 240 area right up there. FIVE, 5 below is way more than 5 below the high. That could break down and make a lower low. That high, that first move down, this retrace. We're at a potential support reversal point here. We need to move up, we need to retrace, and something that's going to show us that we're going to get continuation higher. That's not present on the chart at the moment. You can buy the dip if you're a knife catcher, and maybe it works out for you. Not for me. UBXG, not enough candles to do anything with. Again, ALB. Potential for that to reverse. We finally got down to the target areas. Like, we even pushed extensions. Need to see it break through the daily roadmap line. That has been since I've been talking about this thing, it's been resistance. We did a giant head and shoulders up here, and we flushed it out right to the target. Even got a little extra. Took a long time. I've been talking about this one for, feels like a year. Finally got down there. Finally could reverse. Gonna have to break above the roadmap line. Get back above this consolidation to prove we're going up. I've had a long-term upside target here. Like up here. This is one of the only lithium miners in America. Let's adjust those targets a little bit. 798 potential upside. 477, 798. That could be one you just want to buy. So like that could be I mean, think about it. That's almost a 10xer from where we are right there. 9x. I mean, that may be better to buy than the one I said just a minute ago, Dollar Tree. Hold that one for a while. That could be that could be pretty wild right there. 8, 9. How long would you wait for 8 or 9x your money? DY. And if it starts going bad, starts breaking low again, you get it. GTFO. All right, stuff that was declining. You know, sometimes we find bounces in here. This is probably going to keep declining on down here. That would be my expectation. Go hit the roadmap line. AXP, we did the, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. That one set it up right there. It's probably going out 260, maybe 265. ALC, probably coming back to the roadmap line. JD. Just doing nothing. It looks a lot like Baidu and Alibaba. Just messing around. Baidu keeps grinding down. Baba just grinding at the roadmap line. JD's kind of the same boat. LZB, lazy boy. Wow, nice recovery. That looks like it's on a path to get right up to there. Maybe somewhere around next year. It's just in this big channel right here. Probably keep chugging in the channel. Google got whacked a little bit this morning, but looks like it's already starting to recover. And we break above this zone right here, 197. No high probability anything until we get through that conservative entry resistance right there. 197, 202, 217 potentially on the upside. Macy's getting whacked again on earnings. Beating on the top, missing on the bottom. Made money, didn't lose money. I mean, I'm concerned that we lose Macy's as an American icon here. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm concerned that we lose Macy's. They can't get their crap together. Need this to break back up through here. Get some upside targets. Now, my bonus trades today, Oracle. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Beautiful. This is the entry today. Triggered yesterday. Entry today. 149, 152. Upside targets. Stop down here. Below the low. Around 123. I'll give you the stats here in a second. SIL. Here's another one. This is a Silver Miners ETF. If you want to play silver, here you go. This one kicked off yesterday. Red candles, interesting. Right there. 38. 39, 50. Right there. I'll give you some other numbers here in a second. Give you some other numbers. Let me pop this up. And where did that go? There it is. There it is. And Oracle, for the browser. Ching. And thank you for going full screen. It's not what I wanted to happen. And open the other one for SIL. Pull it over here. And awesome. I also went full screen. God, love it. So here's SIL. Now go full screen and get bigger. So SIL has a target at 38. Stop below 27. All right. 80% of the time it's worked out. It only has 5 trades though since 2010. Profit factor is huge right there with a historical win rate of 80%. So the 20% of trades, which is going to be 1 out of 5, the one that failed was significantly smaller than the 4 that worked out in the past. They have typically lasted 21 trading days. So think about that. There's 5 trading days in a week. So it's going to be like 4 to 5 weeks on average. Could last longer than that. Could last 10, 12 weeks, 15 weeks. So be careful on that one. And then Oracle right here. Dun, 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 dun. Upside potential, $10 based on yesterday's close. 85% win rate on 35 trades. This is statistically significant right here since 1986 when it was listed. Typically lasts 43 trading days. Remember, 5 trading days a week. So that's like 9 weeks. It's like 2 months, a little more. Make sure you have enough time if you're going to play options. Shares are a viable option. $10 upside right there. Profit factor, somewhat smaller. So that's why I put this one on here, because the banging profit factor. I put this one on here because the higher win rate right there. Let me know in the chat if you enjoy these bonus trades. As always, I appreciate the feedback and knowing what you want more of. Like, that's the whole point. Like, you got to tell me what you want more of. If you liked anything, if you find them beneficial, helpful, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment. I appreciate it all. Bias for the day, still looking for that high. And my primary expectation here is still looking for this, and looking for that. That's what I expect to happen right there. Now, FOMC minutes is a risk. It could go against us. Like, it, the FOMC meeting could cause volatility. We could see a dip back into the red zone and then a rip. So be cautious. Be cautious, be careful. It's your money. All the things I said. Be careful out there. We'll see you. I'll be in Discord. I am live at 1 o'clock talking about Apollo. If you don't know anything about it, it's been on a hot freaking tear the last few, 2 weeks? We've got, look at this. Last 2 weeks, one loss right there. One loss on Baidu in the last 2 weeks. Just ridiculous. 100% win rate on the last trades that's closed this week, last 7 days. It's just a hot streak right there. Hot streak. Have a great day, everybody.